Wow, it is really windy out there. So before I really begin the video, if you hear some like aggressive wind or some noise or whatever in the background of my recording, I'm sorry. It is very windy out today. We got like really fast winds. I saw someone's like trash can get blown up the street a few minutes ago. Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Super Nintendo and welcome back to another episode of Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. In the last episode, we saved the Gabbit species and saved a buttload of Mudokons and got the best ending possible. This time, things are going to be a little bit different because, well, the rest of this video doesn't really require any gameplay, so I'm just going to be kind of talking off the cuff. Not that I've been talking on the cuff, I guess, throughout this Let's Play, but talking without me actually having a controller in my hands as I kind of talk about some things. The first thing I should probably talk about is my overall feelings on Oddworld as a series. Because, I feel like that kind of really paints things going forward, because for all intents and purposes, this is the last Oddworld Let's Play that I'm going to be doing. Because, well, new Oddworld game, I should say. I do plan on eventually Let's Playing the original Abe's Odyssey. Not new and tasty, the original version of Abe's Odyssey. I do eventually plan on doing that, but for new games on this channel for Oddworld, this is where it ends. This is where it ends because I don't plan on doing Soulstorm. I really don't like Soulstorm, and I've never played Stranger's Wrath, and something tells me that even if I did play it, I wouldn't enjoy it enough to do a Let's Play on it, because I don't care for first-person shooter games. Maybe that would change if I actually played the game. After all, I do enjoy Resident Evil 7, but I don't really know where else I could really take this series. Because I've done New and Tasty twice. Once many years ago as like my first Let's Play, then again several years ago for New Game Plus. I do plan on doing the original Abe's Odyssey. I feel like it's different enough from New and Tasty enough that it can warrant its own series. Because even though it's the same series, it's the same game story-wise, I feel like there's enough differences gameplay-wise that kind of warrants it, especially because nowadays I feel like more people would recommend New and Tasty over Abe's Odyssey because of how hard Abe's Odyssey is. I've done Abe's Exodus. They don't really have a remake of that game unless you count Soulstorm. And now I've done Munch's Odyssey. And, based on the release record of Soulstorm, we're probably not getting another Oddworld game for another 10 years or so. So, this is basically where the Oddworld series of Let's Plays ends for the time being. And that kind of makes me sad a little bit. It really kind of makes me sad that one of my favorite franchises that I have loved ever since I was a small child. Because I feel like I've said this before in other Let's Plays, but I was introduced to Oddworld when I was a very small child. I was like, I want to say 5 or so. And I don't remember who introduced me to the series first, if it was my dad or my grandma. But I often played Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, and Exodus at either my own house with my dad or at my grandma's house on the computer versions. I didn't get very far into any of these games. And as I mentioned early on in this Let's Play, Munch's Odyssey came out when I was about 6 or so. And I played through the game very infrequently because I had family members that came from Colorado who would come and they had the game on the original Xbox. And because I didn't have an Xbox when I was that young, I couldn't really play through the game very often. Not to mention it wasn't my console, so whenever that family member came along, I couldn't play through the game very often anyway. So, like, because, you know, he wanted to play his games and didn't want to just, like, sacrifice his game time for the sake of his little cousin who can't even get past the fucking first level. Not that I blame him, but, like, yeah. So that's kind of where the Oddworld series really kind of ended for a long time. We did get the Oddworld Adventures games on the Game Boy Color, but those were just kind of Game Boy Color remakes, demakes, if you will, of Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus. And then we get New and Tasty, which I like New and Tasty well enough, but it's largely just Abe's Odyssey again, and far easier. The most difficult thing in that game is the DLC. Abe's, like, I was super excited for Soulstorm when it came out, and I played it on the PS4 when it first came out, and it was so buggy, so glitchy, so unpolished that I just couldn't finish it. It was so... It's not even like it was hard, necessarily. Because, like, here's kind of the difference between hard and just whatever Soulstorm is. Like, hard games, like, hard, difficult games still have an element of fairness to them, even if they are hard. A perfect example of this for me is actually the older Oddworld games. But also, I would say that things like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, I wouldn't say this for Elden Ring, but Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1, Bloodborne, stuff like that. These games are hard. They are very challenging. They might take you dozens of tries, maybe even hundreds of tries to beat a boss, to beat a level, to progress through the game. But the only thing between you, the only thing between you and victory is yourself. The game gives you all the tools you need. The games themselves aren't super glitchy. They work how they should. The only thing that's keeping you from beating the game is you. But when you have a game like that, that is that difficult, that is that hard, that is that challenging, and it is glitchy, and you can do the same fucking thing over and over and over again, but get completely different results. Because maybe your character fell through the floor. Maybe your character was shot while they were behind a safety barricade thing. Maybe your character got seen when there's nothing around to see them. when you are being punished for something that isn't your fault because you're playing the game how it should be played, that's not fun. Because at that point, you are just coping. You are just hoping that the game will just be lenient enough and let you, against all odds, finally beat this area. And that's not fun. That is just not fun to me. And that's part of the reason why I don't want to do Soulstorm, because the game is littered to hell and back with that issue. Additionally, the game is just so... It lacks any sense of the typical Oddworld charm. Because the thing with Oddworld is that, yes, it's incredibly fucking dark and horrific, and the creatures in this world are monstrous. They are horrific, grotesque abominations. But it's also filled with tons of slapstick and fart jokes. Like, this series is just as silly as it is scary and monstrous and horrific. And that's where I feel Soulstorm really falls flat. Because it doesn't have any of this. It doesn't have any of the lighthearted charm that Oddworld is known for having. So in addition to the game just being incredibly glitchy and unfun, even in the most updated versions, because I've tried playing it on the PS5, it is still incredibly glitchy. I swear they didn't change a damn thing. It just lacks that Oddworld charm. So, it pains me to say it, but Munch's Odyssey is the last game that I'm going to be tackling. And that really does make me sad, because you would think that because the series started in like 1996, 1997, somewhere around there, you would think that after nearly 30 years that you would have more. That you would have more to offer. The Sonic series started not too long before Oddworld did. And look how many games we have of the Sonic series, for better or worse. We got the classic games, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic CD. We got the adventure games, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic 2006, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations, Sonic Lost World, etc. Like, we got all these games. So that way, even if you're not a fan of modern Sonic, there's still lots of other games for you to play. There's still lots of games for you to kind of sink your teeth into. And I know that Oddworld Inhabitants is more of a very small third-party company. They're more like Double Fine with the Psychonauts series, essentially. But you would think that after all these years, we would be farther along in the series by now. Because with Munch's Odyssey, the game had this little pamphlet in it talking about the Oddworld quintology, how they originally wanted to make 5 games in the franchise, and all of them would be Odyssey titles. The best that a lot of Oddworld fans like myself can speculate is that each one of these Odyssey titles would have introduced a new race that had been hunted to near extinction by the more powerful, greedy races of Oddworld. Because in the first game, we got Abe. we got the Mudokons. They were being hunted to near extinction after they had already hunted a lot of the wildlife, like meeches, paramites, and scrabs, to near extinction. And in the case of meeches, to extinction. And so now they're going to be chopping up the Mudokons and having them be served as, like, food. Munch's Odyssey gives us, the Gabbets with Munch. Munch is the last Gabbet, and he basically has the same type of fate that Abe would have faced if he had not saved his brothers. He is the last Gabbet, but there's still some hope, because there's the Gabiar and 150 eggs, and he can theoretically repopulate the Gabbet population as a result. We got news years ago on something called Squeak's Odyssey, but nothing came of it. And it really does kind of make me sad. And then eventually they just kind of said fuck it to Squeak's Odyssey, and they wanted to build up the fan base again, which is where we got New and Tasty from. And New and Tasty, for all its faults, it is still ultimately Abe's Odyssey. A lot of the same puzzles exist, the same story exists, maybe not told as well as the original game, but at least the messaging is still there. And then we get Soulstorm, which takes like the original idea of Abe's Exodus and then just kind of, in my opinion, bastardizes it, while they completely demonize and almost disown the original Abe's Exodus. And I feel like that is very undeserved. And who knows where we're going after Soulstorm. Because as far as I can see it, I don't think they're going to be doing a Munch's Odyssey game for the next one. Maybe we'll get a Munch's Odyssey remake at some point, but the future of Oddworld is very up in the air for me. I don't know where we're going with this, and it really is just... It's not like I think that the series is going down the toilet like I did for so many years with the Sonic franchise, but Oddworld, its future is very uncertain. Because will they go back to the original formula of Abe's Odyssey and Exodus? Or are they going to be continuing in this new direction with Soulstorm? I really don't know. But yeah, that's kind of why I am not going to be doing any more Oddworld Let's Plays. But I guess to kind of go back to Munch's Odyssey and talk about that game, because after all, this is supposed to be a bonus episode to Munch's Odyssey. When I was recording to get the bad ending, when I was playing through the game, I actually found something out by complete fucking accident. I was just messing around to see if I could do this, and I discovered that you can actually possess the Scrabs and Paramites in this game. You can't do much of anything but have them do their little screeches, and they can attack, which leads to the other Paramites and Scrabs chasing you down, trying to kill you. Which also, by the way, the fact that there are, like, a shit ton of Scrabs and they are not killing each other is actually very contradictory to how they acted in the first two games. Although, I wonder how the fuck they repopulate, because whenever they find another Scrab, they just kill each other. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, besides that, there's really not much else to go over. All that's really left is just to play the dialogue for the different creatures that you can possess and show you guys the good and bad ending. the good ending is more or less the exact same as the best ending, other than the newspaper. The newspaper, actually, speaking of the newspaper, something I didn't notice, until I was recording for this video. The newspaper is called the Daily Deception. It's literal fake news. It's just the newspaper trying to paint Abe as like this terrorist, when really he's just trying to he's not even trying to really like take down the governments or whatever. He's just trying to save his species and help other species save their species. That's really all he's doing. Like even the idea that he's some kind of anarchist is laughable, because that's really not what he's even doing. Like he does inadvertently kind of like blow up these places, but it's not like he's meaning to do that. Like most of the time it happens because of just stupidity, like slapstick shit. So there is that. So I guess before I start playing the dialogue and the bad ending for you guys to enjoy, I guess I should probably talk about what my next Let's Play is going to be. My next Let's Play is going to be something that is far more happy and upbeat. Partially because I wanted it to kind of contrast this series, but also just because in recent weeks, in my own personal life as I'm recording this, it's just been very depressing, very hard. Lots of stupid shit has been happening, so I need something very positive, upbeat, and easy for us to... For me to just kind of reset my brain, I guess. So, next time, we will be doing just that. I thank you all so much for watching my Munch's Odyssey Let's Play. And until my next series, take care.
Enough about you, let's talk about me. How did I get so perfect? I'm at the top of the world. I deserve a promotion. Everybody loves me. I'm beautiful. I'ma need me an ass the size of a truck to fit this wallet.
Brain. Hey, fart breath. Hey, fugly. Hey, butt wipe. You stank, brother. Hey, butt wipe. You stank, brother. Hey, butt wipe. What's up with that? You're over there. You stank. What's up with that? Brain. What's up with that? Hey, get him. Brain. Kiss my brain. Check. And your mama. Hey, fart breath. Piss off, you ass. Why we gonna...
Munch, how could you have left all those fuzzles behind? Remember, what comes around goes around, you screw up. Why do I bother? Get to the raisin, infiltrate the slog hut. But do you bother rescuing anybody? Nah, cause that might require you getting off your butt and actually doing the right thing. Oh, hey, Munch, we gotta talk. If your Kwarma doesn't pick up pretty soon, you're gonna get what's coming to you. Oh, hey, Munch, we gotta talk. If your Kwarma doesn't pick... Fine, be that way. Oh, hey, Munch, come on. Force that CEO to donate his split his profits to the Lulu Fund. And rescue the scrubs before your Kwarma catches up with you. God only knows why I keep reminding you. I tried, and I tried, and I tried to tell you, but would you listen? No. Well, your bad karma has finally caught up with you, you cold-hearted bestiches. Whatever.
We gotta get those eggs out of here. Huh? But... I'm trying to help out. Wrong answer. What's that mean? Oh, no. No, no, no!
Hello, Lady Margaret? We've got your brand new lung sitting right here. We can do the transplant as soon as you're available. Wonderful. See you then. Surprise!
Sit on the sinking square window!